guys, welcome back to my channel. I am your famous, friendly, family favorite fantasy football guy, and I'm excited to be going over the Sunday main slate, guys. It's got a lot of good matchups. I mean, it's got a crazy amount of good matchups, starting with the quarterbacks, and I looked at the running backs. I have not taken a gander at the wide receivers yet, but let's go ahead and get started with the quarterbacks because there's quite a few of them I want to go over. I'm just going to skip the ones that I don't love the matchups, guys. And there's some good quarterbacks this week that I don't like the matchups of, but I'm going to go start off here with Matthew Stafford. Matthew Stafford, 29.6 points in week 5, 30.4 in week 4. Again, those are fantasy points, guys, but he's playing the Ravens, who are 31st in the league against the quarterback position. They are 31st against the pass, 29th against the rush. This is an excellent spot for Matthew Stafford, who's got about 30 points in the last 2 games. So, yeah, there's nothing more that I need to say there. He looks phenomenal in this position. He's going to be super chalky. Guarantee you tons of people are going to play him, but I can see why. So definitely want to shy away from him. The other one I like here is Justin Herbert, or one of the other ones I like. Justin Herbert has averaged 19.9 a game. Hasn't had a super great game since week 1, where he got 30.9 points. But with that said, he is playing the Dolphins, who ranked 30th against the quarterback and 16th against the pass, 32nd against the rush. He's in a good spot here, so I don't need to say anything else. I feel like he's had opportunity to do better than he has this year, but averaging 19.9 a game certainly is not bad, so he has done good. He's a great quarterback, and I'm going to move on now to Jordan Love. Jordan Love got 30.3 games in his last game in week 4. He is playing the Bengals, who are 24th against the quarterback and 29th against the pass. I think Jordan Love is going to have a good game here. Nothing else to say there, guys. He's a good pick. This one, I don't love the matchup necessarily. The Cardinals are 6th against the quarterback, but they are 28th against the pass, playing Daniel Jones, who has averaged 20 points in a game. And I just think, guys, that this could be a good week for him, even though the Cardinals are 6th against the quarterback. 28th against the pass is not good. So I kind of like him here too. Don't think I'm going to play him this week because of the other options, but I could see the argument if you guys wanted to play him, the argument that could be made. Drake May, I don't love this. This is kind of the opposite of what we just saw. This is the Saints are 25th against the quarterback, but they're 9th against the pass. He's averaged 19.9 a game. I don't love this one for whatever reason. I don't hate it either. Drake May has played very well this year, so I could definitely see you playing him. Coming down here, the next one, guys, is Mac Jones. I like Mac Jones a lot here. You saw what he did last week. He got 25.2 points. Week 2, he had 22.8. He's averaged 20.7 points a game. He is doing good. And keep in mind, when I say points, I'm talking about fantasy points. I know I've said that before. I just like to hammer that point home. No pun intended there. All right, guys. So the Buccaneers are ranked 27th against the quarterback, 20th against the pass. And I know it says he's questionable, but he is expected to play. And I think he will play well as long as he's healthy. Sam Darnold. Sam Darnold got 31.6 points last week in week 5, guys. There is no shortage of quarterbacks that can play. The Jaguars are 26th against the quarterback, 27th against the pass. I think Sam Darnold could have a week here. He only averages that 17.7, which is weaker, I think, than the other quarterbacks we've looked at thus far. But he's got a great matchup, and I think that this week he will play well. I do. Keep in mind, guys, Browning is no longer starting for Cincinnati. They got Joe Flacco now. So Joe Flacco came over from Cleveland to Cincy, and he is now going to be their starter from what I've read. And thought I'd make mention of that. I don't plan on playing either of them, but just wanted to make mention of it. The other one here, guys, is Bryce Young. Bryce Young has averaged 14.7 fantasy points a game. His best game was week 2. He got 26.3 fantasy points. But he is playing the Cowboys, who rank 32nd against the quarterback and 32nd against the pass. If there is any week that he is going to go off, it should be this week, on paper at least. And if he can't go off this week, then I think we've got some serious questions about this quarterback. He did have the 26.3 point game, so he can't be that bad, but he has not played super well against these other teams. Guys, I honestly might even play him myself. I love this matchup. There's not a better matchup for a quarterback. Is there? I mean, let me know if there is. And they're also, the Cowboys are 22nd against the rush, so that's going to take the pressure off of them to even have to pass. So, guys, it's like this is make it or break it for him. If he can't do well here, there's some serious questions. But he is a cheap option for you guys. And there's actually even a cheaper option. Dylan Gabriel is now the quarterback for the Browns. As what this looks like. He got his first start last week. And he did well. He got 16.1 fantasy points. Pittsburgh is 29th against that quarterback position. I keep bouncing my screen around. I apologize, guys, but they are 30th against the pass. So Dylan Gabriel, if he is a decent football player, I know he's just getting started, it looks like, but if he's decent, then he should have a good game here against Pittsburgh. And he's only 4,400. So, yeah, that's the quarterbacks, guys. There's a lot of them. And if you want a cheaper option, Flacco was down there, but I have no desire to play him this week. So, yeah, let's go ahead. Let's move on to the running backs, guys. All right, guys. So I like Jonathan Taylor here, but I don't love his matchup. So I'm not going to look at him, but he's averaging 25.5 a game. So I think he could still do good. Christian McCaffrey, it's the same thing. I don't love his matchup, but he's averaged 24.8 points a game, so I think he could do great. Or good, I should say. But these are the guys that I really do like. It's going to be Josh Jacobs. Josh Jacobs got 31.7 fantasy points last week. The Bengals ranked 32nd against the running back and 24th against the rush. So I think he's going to have a phenomenal week. He averages 18.1 a game. But like I said, he had that 31 points last week. He's coming off a great game. I expect him to have an excellent game this week as well. Ashton Genty. Keep in mind, he had that 37.5 point game in week 4, guys, fantasy points. And he's playing the Titans, who are 30th against the running back, 30th against the rush. I expect him to have a great game as well. And as you can see, Omarion Hampton is out. He's on the IR. But that's going to set up their backup running back to do great. And we'll take a look at him here in a minute. Kyron Williams. Well, keep in mind, a lot of people are saying Javonte Williams here, guys. I don't love his matchup. Panthers are 15th against the running back, 14th against the rush. I still expect him to do well. I don't expect him to do great. Kyron Williams coming off a 32.1 point game. I do expect him to do great. The Ravens are 31st against the running back, 29th against the rush. He's only averaged 17.3 fantasy points a game, but he's going to do great in this game. But he's also probably going to be super chalky. So keep that in mind. I kind of liked Junkins here, guys. He's only averaging 16.2 a game fantasy points. The Steelers are 23rd against the running back and 19th against the rush. Kind of expect him to have a good game. Don't expect it to be a great game. Travis Etienne Jr., no, I don't love the matchup here. The Seahawks are 22nd against the running back, 3rd against the rush. I was trying to remember if I liked his matchup, but I do not like his matchup here. Rico Dowdle, my goodness, coming off of a 35.4 point game in week 5, is now going up against the Cowboys, who are 27th against the running back and 22nd against the rush. He is set to have another phenomenal week. So yeah, just get ready for that. Guys, the New England backs, they have a good matchup here, but it's hard to tell which one to play. You know? It's hard to tell which back to play. I don't know what to say. They got 3 backs there that they're using, and that's why I'm kind of staying away from them. So you come down here to 5,000 salary, and you got Vital here, or Vidal. I'm not sure. I'm pretty sure it's Vital, guys. That's how I've heard it. But I wanted to look at the depth chart just to make sure that I'm looking at the right running back here. So Haskins is actually listed as the number 1 guy now, the starter. So I think it's probably going to be a toss-up between those guys. And hard to tell which one is going to get the bulk of the load. But let's see, you have Miami's 28th against the running back, 32nd against the rush. So they got a great matchup on paper if they can determine who's going to get the start there. Haskins in week 5 had 5 attempts. Just going back, I just wanted to look at this. Vital in week 5 had 4 attempts. So they were pretty close. Really, you could probably play either of those guys. But since there's 2 of them battling for the spot, it looks like I don't think I want to go with either one of them personally. But I'm going to go ahead and move on to the wide receivers now, guys. So let's go ahead and take a gander at them and see what we got. We've got Puka Nacua, who's playing Baltimore. And Baltimore is 31st against the wide receiver, 31st against the pass, guys. And Puka's averaging 28.6 fantasy points a game. He's probably going to be the most chalky person on this slate. But there's a reason for it. He's in a great spot. He's, for all intents and purposes, right now, the best receiver in the league, probably. At least one of them. He's producing the most fantasy points right now, it looks like. So, yeah, we got him. We got Jackson Smith and Jigba, who had 30.2 points, fantasy points last week in week 5. He's averaged 21.7 a game. He's playing the Jaguars, who are 23rd against the wide receiver position and 27th against the pass. So those are my top 2 probably for the week. Then you also, guys, have Devontae Adams, also for the Rams, so I'm not going to look at the matchup, but he's averaged 15.7 a game. And he's just producing points and looking good, guys. So he's in a great spot. I'm not loving Brian Thomas Jr. here. I've heard some people talk about him. Seattle's 12th against the wide receiver, 24th against the pass. I could see it, but I don't love it. Tetairoa McMillan. I like him this week, guys. But he's only averaged 12.4 fantasy points a game. But if he's going to go off in a game, it's going to be this week because the Cowboys are 32nd against the wide receiver, 32nd against the pass. We already talked about his quarterback, and if Bryce Young can get him the ball, I just see this being a good week for him. In fact, a great week. Zay Flowers, he's questionable with a shoulder injury, but if he plays, I think he potentially has a good spot here. The Rams are 21st against the wide receiver and 18th against the pass, but he only averages 15.2 a game, and he is coming in with an injury, so it's hard to say. I don't love it, but I kind of like it. If that makes sense. I like Jacoby Myers' matchup way better. Titans are 25th against the wide receiver, 21st against the pass. However, he only averages 10.8 fantasy points a game, so I don't necessarily love that. Just kind of scrolling through, I'm going to be passing over some of these players, guys. Metcalf had a great game in Week 4. The Browns are 17th against the wide receiver and 4th against the pass, however. So I don't love that spot from him. These next two I do like quite a bit as far as matchup goes. Michael Pittman Jr., he's averaging 15.5 fantasy points a game. Cardinals are 18th against the wide receiver, 28th against the pass. So I like him. I like Michael Pittman Jr. here. I would like to see him producing more as a top receiver, but Marvin Harrison Jr. had an okay game last week. Week 4, he had an even better game. Week 1, he had an even better game. He's averaging 12.5 fantasy points a game, and the Colts are 27th against the wide receiver, 19th against the pass. I could see him having a decent week. And actually, both of these next two guys, Romeo Doubs, I don't love the matchup, but the Bengals, well, I like it quite a bit. Bengals are 20th against the wide receiver, 19th against the pass. And if you remember, it was Dobbs that caught all those touchdown passes, 3 as a matter of fact, in Week 4. He got 29.8 points. If they could hook up again, that could be good. That could be a good matchup for him. So I wouldn't be surprised to see Romeo Doubs as one of the top receivers this week. Chris Olave and really both Saints receivers, I think, look good this week, guys, as far as matchup goes. He only averages 12.5 fantasy points a game, but the Patriots are 22nd against the wide receiver, 26th against the pass. I could see him having a good week. I could see Calvin Ridley having a good week. He only averages 9 fantasy points a game, but he got 21.1 points last week. Hopefully that means a little more connection between him and his quarterback. Maybe they've gotten on the same page. Oakland, guys, I keep wanting to say Oakland. I don't know why. Las Vegas Raiders, they've been there for a while now. They are 30th against the wide receiver, 22nd against the pass, so he's in a good spot. And I do think he's a really good wide receiver. I also like Trey Tucker. I liked him last week, however, guys. He only got 11.1 fantasy points. But the Titans are 25th against the wide receiver, 21st against the pass. He averages 15.5 a game still, so I don't know that I'm going to shy away from him still, guys. Shaheed, I think, also looked good. We already looked at his matchup. On paper, Jerry Jeudy looks great, but he's only averaged 6.9 a game, so I'm not even going to pull him up and look at him here. But he did look good, guys. And then you can see some of these other matchups down here look decent. They don't necessarily produce a lot of fantasy points per game, these players, but the matchups look good, like Hunter Renfrow, for instance. With that said, let's go ahead and move on. Let's take a look at tight ends, guys, and start bringing this video to an end for you. We have so many tight ends to choose from that it is not even funny. Skipping over Trey McBride, although he's been an excellent play this year. Jake Ferguson, guys, he's an obvious pick and probably, if not my favorite, one of my favorites. CeeDee Lamb's been hurt, or is hurt, and Ferguson, because of that, well, not even because of that. I mean, he's just had a great year altogether. Week 2, 16.8 points. Week 3, 21.2 points. Week 5, 23.9. So I thought that 23.9 game was slightly due to CeeDee Lamb being out, which it could have been, but he had good games before. So, yeah, Panthers ranked 29th against the tight end. Ferguson is set to rock it this week. Brock Bowers is out. Tyler Warren, I think he should have a good game, averaging 13.3 fantasy points a game. Cardinals are 22nd against the tight end. Yeah, he'd be a good pick. My goodness, guys. Tucker Kraft, averaging 13.4 in a game. Week 2, he had 27.4 fantasy points. And they are playing the Bengals, who are 30th against the tight end and 29th against the pass. There's 3 right off the bat. And then you got Hunter Henry, averaging 12 a game. So, okay, not super great, but they're playing the Saints. They're ranked 26th against the tight end. Darren Waller, I like a lot, guys, but I don't think I'm going to play him this week. Chargers are 5th against the tight end and 4th against the pass. I don't think I'm going there. Mark Andrews looks like, I guess I'll break down and look at it here, but the Rams are 18th against the tight end. Tungus, I think, looks fantastic. He coming off a 17.1 point game, averaging 10.7 a game. The Buccaneers are 21st against the tight end and 20th against the pass. I think he would be a great pick. A.J. Barner coming off a 24.3 point game. Jaguars are 13th against the tight end, but 27th against the pass. I think he'll do good. And David Njoku, guys, finally had a good week in week 5 with his new quarterback. He had 18.7 fantasy points, giving him an average per game of 9.1. And he's playing the Steelers, who are 25th against the tight end position, 30th against the pass. And Fannin had a good game. Fannin Jr. had 11.3 fantasy points, and he was looking good as well. Then you got Jawan Johnson, guys, who is looking great as well. He's only averaged 10.4 a game, but he's playing New England, who is 32nd against the tight end and 26th against the pass. So there's not a shortage of tight ends here, guys. Noah Fant could be a guy this week that could do something. His best game was 12.6 fantasy points, but he's playing the Packers, who are 27th against the tight end. Don't think that I would play him, but he's definitely an option, guys. Yeah. So if I had to choose, my favorite's probably Ferguson and Kraft. And Warren. There's so many tight ends this week, guys. Let's go ahead and move on. Take a look at defenses real quick, and we'll go ahead and end this video for you. So, guys, we have the Green Bay Packers playing the Bengals, who are 32nd against the defense. The Packers just got Joe Flacco, who is supposed to start. Or, I'm sorry, not the Packers, the Bengals. But with that said, I think the Bengals, I think Joe Flacco is going to get sacked multiple times by the Packers. I could be wrong, but that's just what I see. I've not seen like a whole lot of oomph that I want to see from Joe Flacco, especially when he played for the Broncos. It was just like I'm screaming at my TV, like, why don't you show like you want to win? And I didn't see that from him. I wasn't getting like, oh, I want to win this football game. It didn't seem like it mattered to him. And I didn't see the urgency, so I could definitely see the Packers defense getting a sack on him for sure. Maybe some interceptions, I don't know. But they've got 11 sacks on the year, only 2 interceptions, but it's a great spot for them, and they've been good this year. The Steelers against Cleveland, with that said, they're averaging more, 8.2 a game. Cleveland's 29th against the defense, and they're playing with that new quarterback. So I like the Steelers defense there as well. Don't love the Rams in this spot. The Colts against Arizona. Guys, the Colts defense has been stellar this year. They're averaging 10.2 fantasy points a game. That's great from a defense. And the Cardinals ranked 21st against defenses. I think the Cardinals defense would be great to play. Raiders have a good matchup, but they don't average much at all. New England, maybe. They average 8.2 fantasy points a game, and they are playing New Orleans, who is 18th against the defense. So they could be a team that you could go with, guys. Jacksonville as well is a team you could go with down here. Their matchup isn't as good, but they've averaged 10.6 fantasy points a game. Seattle is 10th against the defense, so not sure I love that one, but they would be the really the last defense I would like, guys. I don't see any cheap options that I like at all. The Titans have a good matchup, but they only average 4.2 fantasy points a week, so I don't think I want to go with them. Seattle against Jacksonville, I don't think I really like either, but they average 9.2 a game. So those would be the cheaper options down here at 27 and 2,800. Don't really like the Seahawks. Kind of do like the Jaguars a little bit. But ultimately, I think I like the Colts the best. I like the Packers and the Steelers. With that said, guys, let's go ahead and just put a quick lineup together so you can see who I really like. And I would like to play Stafford here or Herbert. For the sake of salary cap, I don't know that I'm going to do that. And actually, for fun here, guys, I might actually just put in Mac Jones. If he plays, I think he'll be a good play this week. And then that would allow me to play Josh Jacobs. That would allow me to play Ashton Genty. That would allow Puka Nacua. Who else can we put in here? I really did like Jackson Smith and Jigba. He's kind of more expensive, but I like McMillan. Tight end wise, I really do like Ferguson. But he's on the more expensive end. I just don't know. Is he worth paying up for when you got some of these other matchups down here? I also really like Kraft. Let's see if we can fit Ferguson in. We're starting to run out of salary cap, so we're going to want to keep an eye on it. Yeah, we got a remaining salary of $34.50 per player, and I really was hoping to put another running back in here, guys, if possible. Jackson Smith and Jigba I would like to get in there, but he's just so expensive. I would like Dowdle in there. That does not leave much. So where do we come down at? Where do we save salary? That is the question. Could do a Bryce Young at the top at quarterback. That could help. I think I might do away with McMillan. I think maybe we'll go cheaper on the wide receivers here. But there wasn't too many down there that I liked. How much was McMillan? Dobbs isn't much cheaper, so that doesn't help. That's the issue we're running into, guys, is salary cap. There's not a whole lot down here that I like as far as some of these cheaper wide receivers go, but I don't know. Somewhere we've got to save on salary, guys. Is it Nakua? Is it Genty? Is it Jacobs? I don't want to get rid of any of those guys. As much as I don't want to, let's go ahead and drop Ferguson. And let's come down here and do like let's do Johnson. Let's do Johnson instead. That will save us some. That will bring up some salary cap that we can use. Would that allow us? I was gonna see maybe we could use Jackson Smith and Jigba. That doesn't look super likely. We could possibly still use McMillan here. That would leave us with 3,100. Who in the world would we play at 3,100? Yeah, we'll take McMillan out of there. We got to go cheaper. We could go Michael Pittman. Oh, Romeo Dobbs. I did like Romeo Dobbs there. That would give us 3,900. And then we could actually go with, just for fun, this might be kind of a punt play, but I have had my eye on him, is Alec Ailmanor. I'm not sure I'm saying his name right. But Las Vegas is 30th against the wide receiver, 22nd against the pass. He averages 8.6 a game. We could just throw him in there, and then that would give us a decent lineup. Yeah, not sure I'll play this at all, guys, but there you have it. These are some guys I really like. Hey, I hope that you win or come in a winning bracket. I hope that I win it all, of course. But I hope you guys have a good week and a good Sunday altogether. And check back in with me for the Sunday Night Showdown slate, and I will get that put up for you guys here soon. So thank you. I appreciate it. If you want to subscribe, please subscribe. And thanks again.